Yeah, I think I want to start off with the e-cigarettes
Yeah, let's do
story.
it.
For those of you who don't know, there was a recent reporting of deaths associated with vaping. But if you didn't know, those specific cases were involving CBD or THC vaping, so marijuana.
That I had not heard.
Yeah, because apparently there was some sort of additive. I think like vitamin E or some like vitamin E like oil that was in the liquid, the vaping liquid, that vitamin E is not supposed to be heated, and so when it's heated, it becomes toxic, and so people after using the product, got sick, and I think at least 2 cases of deaths caused by vaping. But of course, the media, they're not, they don't tell you that it's through because of cannabis. They just say vaping, and so they immediately attach it to all vaping, including e-cigarettes.
That doesn't surprise me.
Of course, and it really shouldn't, especially because they're going so hard at it now with like all the the truth the truth.org or .com ads about saying how nicotine is brain poison, and causes kids to have mood swings or whatever. It's like or teenagers have the mood swings. Like, well, one, they're teenagers and they have their hormones are raging, so of course they're having mood swings.
Oh, yeah. So
and two, and girls, they're going through puberty. They've just gotten their period, so of course they're moody, and and they snap at you, or or they get really loud at you. It's like.
Did you ever watch the South Park episode where they were making fun of like Rob Reiner and his crusade against like cigarettes?
I might have, but I can't recall right now.
But this is exactly kind of like how it, what I think of like when I see this. Now, listen, I have no dog in this fight because I've never smoked cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not into the whole like vaping thing or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I really have no dog in the fight. But for me, I'm a guy that's like I like actual facts and truth. And every time I see these stupid truth.org commercials that come on, and it's like, if you're not careful, cigarettes are going to come into your room, into your room at night and stab your children. And it's like, they literally can say whatever the most libelous, craziness that they can think of. And what could the tobacco companies? They can't say anything. There's no obviously they know it's not a healthy product, but they can't just come up with these horrific lies, because it's listen, we all know it's like bad for your health, kind of like drinking beer is not always great for you in excess.
Yeah, or having a beer for every single meal, probably not the best idea.
No, not the best idea, but we still but the fact, but they make up these, they're blowing these statistics up. It's the same stupid thing that they do with the gun deaths. It's like, well, all these gun deaths, a lot of those are suicides, or are just other issues. Like, you don't need to make a problem that's bad enough. We don't need to blow it up. We don't need to create this mass fear and hysteria that's not true.
Right, and yes, cigarettes with regular combustion-based cigarettes. There's there have been longitudinal studies where it's proven that smoking combustible cigarettes does have an effect on your health, but vaping is so new, there is no longitudinal data to support any such case. And this recent case of kids vaping again, THC, cannabis. Because there was an additive that shouldn't have been in there because it's not supposed. This specific additive, vitamin E, is not supposed to be heated. Was in it. That's the cause of the deaths. But then there's no longitudinal data about vaping, and also, one of the key selling points of vaping is it was better for you because it wasn't, heating tobacco, which is the thing that causes because when you do combustible cigarettes, you're basically giving yourself controlled smoke inhalation.
Exactly. Yeah. So
and that is where the carcinogens are coming from. It's not the nicotine. Nicotine itself. There's actually been studies saying that nicotine isn't as addictive as people have made it out to be. Nicotine is this big boogeyman thing. And actually, they've actually been using nicotine as a treatment for Alzheimer's.
I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah, with actually pretty promising results.
But remember, nicotine is going to, kidnap your children and rape them in the ass. That's,
I know, exactly. I know, exactly. I know, but exactly, because no one's gonna dig for these facts. I was pointed to it by somebody else. So that's how I looked it up. That's how I found it, and now I'm letting everyone else know. That nicotine is used for Alzheimer's treatment.
That's interesting. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, right. And also studies have shown that nicotine outside of combustible, traditional cigarettes, it isn't that addictive. So if you go, I'm sorry.
No, that's interesting. I hadn't heard any of this.
Yeah, it's not. It's it's almost as the same. Nicotine outside of combustible traditional cigarettes has the same is as addictive as caffeine.
Which really isn't all. I mean, it has some addictive qualities, sure, but it's not
but you don't see people.
If I don't have it, I'm gonna shake to death. And
exactly, you don't see caffeine heads knocking over Starbucks.
No. I'm not going through heroin withdrawals and holding people up at gunpoint just so I can get a little more caffeine or nicotine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not, and again, don't get it twisted. I'm not advocating for people to go and smoke or whatever. But I'm just saying honestly take the time to do some research yourself. I found this information in 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes of typing into Google. I just it took me 5 minutes to read the initial articles that I found, and I had this much information to combat against the e-cigarette scare.
Yeah, like I said, I'm always skeptical when all the news is one direction, and if you even so much as ask a question, people get all insane about it. It's
how dare you?
How dare you? My grandmother was, it's okay, I'm just asking questions. I didn't say that I agree, that I disagreed. I just want to know more information. But people get fucking crazy, dude. This is why I'm always very skeptical. And then, like you said, you take a little bit more than 5 seconds to do a search for more than CNN and MSNBC, and you realize okay, there's actually more information out here that no one's actually taking the time to look up.
Right, and I know you said that you don't have a dog in this fight, and I mean I don't have a dog in this fight either. But I do know I do have friends who are in the business of selling these flavored nicotine, the flavored liquids for the vaping for the vaping things. and they actually just had a city council vote to whether or not to ban them in Los Angeles, and guess what happened?
Yeah, I already guessed. It's gone.
Right, and and with it, so does people's livelihoods.
Yeah, it's like, well,
Yeah,
let's take out these businesses and people who enjoy them. It's like, well, screw all those people.
right, exactly. I mean, you're essentially killing business.
Yeah,
You're killing business. You're killing tax revenue. You're killing the ability for people to live. Because I know some people who invested in or started up like a vape shop like way like going on like 10 years ago, right?
yeah,
They have a brick and mortar location, and now now that's done. And then I have
yep,
another friend who sells the liquid, the flavored liquid, you know, and he was doing good numbers, and he was starting to get his legs under him, and he was like he was starting to start looking into getting a physical location. But now that
I
now
can
that's
see that
gone.
too. Yeah, that's what I said. Like, if it is something that like you find that is dangerous, that it's like, okay, or that maybe like, yeah, there was maybe a little bit of a lack of research that was done, and it's like, and everyone kind of like it's like, oh, we overlooked this thing, crap, that makes sense, and like there's actual good research out there, but the reality is like none of that was done,
Of course not.
and a lot of times like none of it is true, um, and I just I don't know, man. It bugs me because, yeah, you said people who are have businesses are affected. The actual like ramifications of the vaping. Like I said, I have no dog in the fight, but it's like, to me it seems like a healthier alternative to smoking, I guess.
Right. Exactly,
Um,
exactly, there are countless stories of people who have quit traditional smoking through vaping.
Right, because I know like a lot of my friends who were smokers who they're like, I know this is bad for me. I need to, but I also like, it became part of their habit, and it's like, well, this is a way, like, this seems like a better alternative. It's like, I don't want to smoke cigarettes, but this is kind of help me, kind of get rid of the habit. Like, I'm gonna go this direction and not kill myself,
Mm-hmm.
essentially. And it's like, because you have like the ones that are like with like water vapor, so essentially it's like
Right.
steam or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
But it's kind of like, in a way, it's almost like the nicotine gum, that kind of wean smokers
Exactly.
off that stuff, where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like it's water vapor and like nicotine, and it's essentially, yeah, it's just like water vapor that there's filling out. But it's just based off of a habit that they have, and this is the way that they're gonna get off it. And now
Mm-hmm.
that's all like, well, yeah, fuck it, you're either gonna smoke or not. It's like,
Right. Yeah. I mean, because I'll admit I used to smoke. But I got into it very late, and I didn't get addicted. And I was able to kick it fairly easily. But yeah, for other people, it might take vaping, and I know it's that's not sometimes, but it's obnoxious when people vape and they do like those huge like plumes of smoke. I get it, it's annoying, it's kind of douchey, but if it's not hurting anybody, like especially the person actually doing the vaping, and it's not a health hazard to people around you, like literally health hazard, and not just annoying.
yeah.
Then what's the big deal?
Right. It's like, what was one of the funniest things was like Gavin McInnes, like he called it, like, it looks like you're sucking on a robot's dick.
That's right. That's
Funny.
right.
So yeah, of course it looks dumb, but honestly, like I could care less. And the
Yeah,
fact
as
that
long as
like
you're not
this,
being obnoxious about it.
right, but like all this, fake science, or if not fake science, lack of actual like studies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh well, we're just gonna ban it because we heard some bad things from from this my friend's my friend of a friend's brother's neighbor, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we need to ban it.
Right. I mean, like after 2 deaths, literally 2 deaths, they're talking about banning it, as opposed to traditional combustible cigarettes that have killed hundreds of millions of people through lung disease and cancer. Like that's perfectly fine.